Yo, what's up, guys? We're going to be doing a breakdown right quick for Bryan Barberena versus Darion Weeks. This is a short notice fight, and man, I mean, for a short notice bout, this is incredible matchmaking. I mean, both these guys they're going to stand in the middle and go to war, in my opinion, because Bryan Bam Bam Barbarina, if you've ever seen him fight in the UFC, you know, he's a guy that has all action fights, man. His fights are amazing. He's had, you know, wars with a lot of guys, and he's fought some high-level fighters, and he's done well in certain fights, and obviously he's came up short in other ones, but he's pushed top guys. He dropped Leon Edwards. He was 30 seconds away from defeating Vicente Luque via decision before he got finished in that fight. Even his last fight, man, it was pretty back and forth. Both guys got hurt pretty bad, and fun fight against Jason Witt. He came up short in that one, and recently the UFC's been putting him in there against a lot of grapplers. They've been putting him in there against guys that want to try to take him down and hold him down. And that's been the style that Bryan Barberena struggled with more throughout his career. He's a guy that wants to get in your face and bang, and he has some big power. I mean, the guy's got quite a few knockouts. He's dropped some high-level guys, hurt some high-level guys, and he's just really, really good, man. I mean, the guy on the inside throws good combinations. He has good boxing. The thing about it, though, is he's been in a lot of wars at this point. I think last year he had some issue where he kind of had a really bad, life-threatening thing happen and had to get surgery, and it was a big ordeal. He had to take a long time off, and I don't know if that's taken a toll on him, but he hasn't been quite as durable, it seems like. Jason Witt did drop him. One thing I will say, though, is those guys, like I said, Anthony Ivy, Jason Witt are grapplers, and I don't think he was as ready to get hit by a big shot against Jason Witt as he would be a Darion Weeks or the guy he was getting ready to fight. He was getting ready to fight Matt Brown. That was going to be a war, man. I mean, maybe Matt Brown would have went for a couple of takedowns, but we all know Matt Brown is down to scrap and, have a battle. And Darion Weeks is another guy that, he is a newcomer to the UFC, but if you've watched this guy's fights outside of the organization, he's young, he's very, very aggressive, he comes forward, he likes to, throw some decent punch-kick combinations. He's definitely more of a puncher, and he throws some really big punches, good 3-2s, 1-2, some straight shots, very fast, he's explosive, and he's really good at, just being able to get on the inside, maul you, work his knees, work his elbows, dirty box. And, I feel like in this fight, he's going to give Bryan Barberena the exact fight that Bryan Barberena wants. He's going to get in his face. It's not like Darion Weeks is a big mover. He is fast and explosive when he blitzes in, but he just kind of will stand with you right in the pocket. He likes to, like I said, fight in close range. And he will look to mix in the takedowns, but he's not extremely active with his wrestling. When he gets on top, he has really good ground and pound against these lower-level opponents that he's been fighting. But he doesn't seem like he has the best top control, the best jiu-jitsu. So I do feel like a guy like Bryan Barberena will be able to work back up to his feet if Weeks comes in with the game plan to take him down. Weeks is only 5-0, and Bryan Barberena, man, he's notorious for being in these wars, being in these tough, gritty fights. And if Darion Weeks wants to get in that type of fight with Bryan Barberena, I just have a little more faith that Bryan Barberena is going to get it done. There is that question mark, and I feel like that's why the line is so close. It's minus 120 to a plus 100 because Bryan Barberena is taking all that damage. He's a little bit older. He's had some things outside the octagon. And maybe Darion Weeks will come in here and exploit that and finish him by strikes because he's a young guy, very explosive, very powerful. And even though he's 5-0, he has a bit of a deceiving record in that sense because he does have 19 amateur fights where he went 16-3 in those bouts as well. I just think that Bryan Barberena, he was getting ready to fight Matt Brown. I think this fight's going to be a little bit similar to that. If Weeks can get him to the ground, control him, or beat him up with the ground and pound, he's going to get the victory. But I think it's going to play out more on the feet, and I think Bryan Barberena is going to win by throwing combinations. I think Weeks will land some big shots, but they're going to be more few and far between. I think Barberena is going to attack the body, come up to the head, get Weeks a little bit tired. Weeks is a big, durable, strong guy, so I think it's going to be hard to finish him. But I think Barberena can kind of wear him down, and if he doesn't finish him, start to take over the fight a little bit. And that's why I'm going to go with Bryan Barberena. But honestly, I mean, this is one of these fights I would just enjoy as a fan. I think it's going to be really fun to watch, and it could go either way. But I'm going to go with the veteran here. I think he's going to use his experience and be able to get the nod over Darion Weeks by a slight margin. So I'm going to go with Bryan Barbarina to get the win in a war by either late finish or decision.